be discussing Today we will be discussing what is the actual fact of sattva guna, rajas guna and tamo guna that is indicated by the Bhagavad Gita. So yesterday previous video I have given the explanation regarding the gunas which are used by the negativity and the gunas which are in the negative process and as the negative implementation of others as well as his own self. So negative process, when I am talking to with the negative process and the negative involvement of his own way, so then I am taking the word tamo guna of a individuality and the rajas guna as a individuality. So today the fact of the individual who will be in the presence of individual to understand his own self of individuality and having the sense of taking the devotion towards his own determination of knowing his own self with regards the environment, what the environment possesses the positivity towards him and what the positivity he is to give for the environment. That was the fact that you will be understand today. So actual fact, what the actual fact of three gunas which is described in a Bhagavad Gita with according to shloka, I will be giving the explanation. Okay, yesterday or day before I given the explanation which is towards the democratical way, which is towards the implementation of the negativity with individual towards for your own individual. But today the individuality of the understanding of his own self with the process of positiveness of a environmental with regard with an environmental and with regard of his own self, one to one. As we say one to one, there is nothing but the environment of the positiveness and the environment of his own positiveness and the fluctuation regarding. And these gunas with the Bhagavad Gita states, I will be giving the explanation regarding. Okay, what is the sattva guna? Sattva guna shloka. What is the sattva guna shloka is tasman shastra pramanam. Tasman shastram pramanam te karya vyaya stithau ज्ञात्वा शास्त्र विधानोक्त karma kartu mihar isi. So this is what once again I will be giving that tasmashastra pramanam te karya kartavya vasistav ज्ञात्वा shastra vidhanokta karma kartu mihar isi. So what does this mean? The translation, that we give the translator and then I will go next towards the explanation what it shloka says and you will be able to understand what the translation says. Okay, therefore let shastra be thy guide in determining what oughts to be done. Therefore I let shastra to be guide in determine what oughts to be done or what oughts O-U-G-H-T oughts not to be done, guide by what hath been declared by the ordinance of the Shastra. Ordinance of the Shastra. Point to be noted, what is the ordinance of the Shastra? You should engage yourself in the work in this world. So when we are talking with the Sattva Guna, that is the positivity of the environment and the positivity of his own self. When we talk his own self, positivity of his own self with regarding his own understanding is nothing but the tradition of the Vedas and the Upanishads, which he should understand and he should have the truth fact to understand and have the desire of being in a situation and taking the action as regard with oneself. This is what the meditative state gives you to understand yourself and understand the Vedas and Puranas and Upanishads, what the individual, stating the individual as your own creation of the environment and the creation of your own self, and making the decision as required of determined decision. What I used to say is determined decision. This is what the Tasma Shastram Pramanam Te Karya Vaya Stithau. So what are the Vedas describes, Upanishad describes of your own self, and take the desire, and also should be known of the desire of Bhagavad Gita. What it says? Tasma Shastra Pramanam, which gives the fact, Pramanam, Te Karya Vyavastitau. So in that way, the one should make the actual fact of his own execution by understanding the Vedas and the Puranas of what the Bhagavad Gita states regarding. So only the Vedas and the Puranas states only the positivity which is regarding the humanity, not the other things what is harming for others. And the whether it is thinking harming of the thinking, or harming of dominating on others with the influence of negativity. This is also kind of harming, which is very cruelty. That I have, that's what I have given the word Damba Hankara. Yesterday or day before yesterday, I have given the explanation of what is the Damba Hankara. The shloka, particular shloka has given the explanation as well. Then next, what it says, Jnatva Shastra Vihidhanoktam Karma Kartu Mihaisi. So that what the Jnatva, one should have the sense of the reality check and sense of making the execution of the particularly what the Vedas and Puranas stated to be in a fact of understanding and making the execution of his own determined decision, to be in a direction what the devotion he is having towards. Yes. So same thing the translations gives. Therefore, let the Shastra be guide in determined what the outs to be done. Determined. What I said? Determined decision. The same thing. Determined decision what outs to be done, or what outs not to be done. What to be done, what not to be done. He should know the actual the word between the what to be done and what not to be done is the word between word is the patience. This is how the patience come with your own self divinity mindset of devotion towards the meditation. Making the meditation as the prefer of your own self, there comes the understanding of the what is to be done, what not is to be done. So done guide by what hath been declared by ordinance of the Shastra. What is this? Ordinance by the Shastra, declared by the ordinance of the Shastra. You should engage yourself in work in this world. So the main fact to engage your in work in the world is nothing but the decision what you have determined, the determined decision what you have taken towards the decision. So this is what the engaging yourself in work in this world. So determined decision, from first onwards, in every videos I have given determined decision in the direction what you have devotion towards. This is what the Sattva Guna. The Sattva Guna, who is having the Sattva Guna, are present in Bharat itself. Let me give you one shloka which is regarding the Sattva Guna, who are be in the Bharat itself. Which is that shloka? Let me give you that also. Sattvanurupa sarvasya shraddha bhavati bharata. Shraddha mayoya purusho yo yachendra sa evam sa. So having the Sattva Guna, will be having the Shraddha. Who will be having the Shraddha? They will be in the Bharat. Who will having the consent with the Bharat? They will not harm for others, but take the decision as his own self to determine decision what how he is what the direction of the Puranas and Vedas and Puranas. This is what the Sattvanurupa Sarvasya. Sattvanurupa Sarvasya Shraddha Bhavati Bharata. The Sattva Shastra, the person who are in a Sattva Guna, they will be in a Bharat. To take the action what is related to the Bharat. This what I have previously I have given the shloka what tasma shastra pramanam te karya vyavastito ज्ञात्वा शास्त्र विधानोक्त कर्म kartu miharyasi. So this what the shloka is stating for individual as a sattva guna, but this sattva guna is related to only the Sattvanurupa Sarvasya Shraddha Bhavati Bharata Shraddha Mayoya Purusho Ye Machendra Sa Evam Sa. This is only with the regarding the Bharat. But what I am saying is Sattvanurupa, only the Sattva Guna who is having the Sattva Guna with related to Bharat can make the border of his own self with regarding the nation. With regarding the nation, when he has the Sattva Guna, then he will be with the Bharat who takes all the responsibility, what the duties and the, what are the responsibility regarding the Bharat, what the constitution of democratically has said, not against not against with which Shastra says, and also which the constitution says. When the person is the Rajas and Tamas, he makes all the possibility of avoiding the Shastra as well, and also avoids the democratical way. The same thing I have given the explanation. The negativity process in the positive way. They avoids the Shastra and also they avoids the democratical way. When they are influenced the negativity towards in the positive process, they step towards the criminalization. That is what the cruelty. The same thing. The same thing the shloka says. Dambahankarasya ashastra vihitam अशास्त्र विहितम घोरम तत्पंतो ये तपो जना दंबाहंकार काम राग बलविंदति. So this is how they will be acting. So this is how the Sattva Guna relating to the Bharat and relating to his own self. When I am talking with the Sattva Guna, this is only regarding the Bharat. When we comes with the materialistic as taking the decision towards, we are having the equilibrium. When we comes in the materialistic, we are having the way of the equilibrium to take the combination of the Sattva Guna, Rajas Guna and Tamo Guna. When it comes towards the Sattva Guna, Rajas Guna, Tamo Guna, there is only the positivity, only the possible of rising the Sattva Guna as his own decision to direct. But nowadays they are taking the negativity or tamas guna as their priority to make all the positivity, all the possibility, which is disrespecting the constitution as well as disrespecting the traditions as traditions and the Vedas and the Puranas. This is how the negativity is coming in the in particular sense, but unidentifying this. But the unidentifying this is doing the step towards the criminalization. But lack of understanding the energies lack of understanding the positive energy and the negative energy, the person is going towards the criminalization, as well as towards the tamo guna and the tamo guna and rajas guna. So let me give you what is the rajas guna. The stating of the rajas guna in Bhagavad Gita, what it says, यह शास्त्र विदित विमुत्सृज्य वर्तते कामकारतः न स सिद्धि मवाप्नोति न सुख न परा गतिम. So he is be in a particular sense of the shastra vidimukta he is in the particular sense of shastra vidhi srujya. This is the at last shloka, at last the end of the shloka, but I am taking the explanation regarding what the situation demands. Okay, Vishuddhatma, who disagrees, it is directly giving the disagree of the ordinance, but how the person disagrees, I am making the explanation. शास्त्र विगृदात्मा वर्तते कामकारतः न स सिद्धि मवाप्नोति न सुख न परम गतिम. So when we calls regarding the rajas guna, the person, the individual takes the towards the small bit of his own direction towards avoiding the shastras, avoiding the shastra of his own taken determined decision, and slowly he comes towards the rajas guna. When he comes towards the rajas guna, slowly he takes the other step towards the eradication, disagree of the ordinance. Then he comes towards the tamo guna. So rajas guna is the second step. Rajas guna is the second step that the fluctuation starts. The fluctuation starts in the rajas guna. The rajas guna makes the intent of negativity. He will not implement the negativity, but he has the intent of being the negativity. The person who is not don't be in a negativity position, but he has taken the step towards the avoiding the shastra, avoiding the ordinance of the shastra, then he comes towards the rajas guna. When he comes towards the rajas guna, then he avoids the shastra and make the steps towards the avoiding the one more bit of avoiding the shastra. That is what the tamo guna. He is coming from the sattva guna to the rajas guna and the rajas guna to tamo guna. This is what the steps involve in converting. These are the steps we involve in converting. This is what happens in the you can make what the incidents occur in the TCS. What the incidents occur in the TCS is nothing but the conversion of minds. Sattva guna to rajo guna to tamo guna. The conversion of the rajo guna make the fluctuation of one individuality, and then that the fluctuation can make the negativity of his own self. The negative person then influence with the negative energy and make the conversion. There comes the domination of deliberately divert. This is what the Rajoguna stated by the Bhagavad Gita. So being in a decision of particular situation is different, and being of individual in a situation taking the decision is a different. So this is how the particular sattva guna, rajas guna, this is what the sattva guna, rajas guna and the tamo guna particularly indicated by the Bhagavad Gita. Let me tell the one more guna what the tamo guna states. In a previous video I have given the explanation as the tamo guna as well. What is that? Ashastra vihitam ghoram तत्पंतो ये तपो जना दंभाहंकार युक्ता काम राग बलविंदता. This is what the tamoguna. He avoids the all the ordinance of that of all the Vedas what I has described, and all the shloka which is regarding with his own self to take the decision. He avoids that as well, and make the converting of converting. When I am talking with the converting, he takes the negativity influencing as a positive way and make the conversion. The person who is having the intent of negativity can bring the sattva guna to tamo guna. As the step I have given the description by the taking the towards a step towards the tamo guna, rajas guna as his own self, and the person who is in a rajas guna, the tamoguna person will makes the influence of the negativity and brings him to towards the tamoguna. There comes the conversation and domination, and make all the thinking of his own self, what the negative energy and what the negative influencer influence on him. There comes the conversation and makes all the such negative things which is he don't want to do the certain things, but the negative person makes the tamo guna and the rajas guna to fluctuate the individual's mind and make the particular work and make cruelty towards the individuality. This happens with all the administrative. So when we are taking the administrative state as a rajo guna and the tamo guna and the conversion, one should be in a state of sattva guna as the democratical way what the constitution says. Then the any person, whoever the person is, whether he is in a particular position of the in a negativity or as a pretending of the positive, whether he is a person in a state of negativity as a democratical way, the person who is in a democratical way, if he takes the sattva guna as the democratic of his own way, he will never be in a position where the judiciary check the facts and makes him to in the criminalization. But avoiding this, taking the priority as the negativity, influencing of the negative person in a positive process, taking him as a priority and making his decision towards the what the situation occur with a democratical way. His own administration makes towards the cruelty, and he is the person takes the action with the judiciary as well. So there is a process of that. So this is how the tamo guna work. Tamo guna and rajas guna come in existence of individuality. So sattva guna is the only way of the life, and the sattva guna, who will be in a way of his sattva guna, he takes towards the Bharat, is the only fact that sattva guna in this era, particularly in this era, one should have the sattva guna regarding the Bharat. And when I am talking the administration, the sattva guna is having towards the constitution. The person who is towards the constitution, he is also doing the serving to the Bharat. That is what he is the sattva guna of his own intent. But when he takes the priority of the negative influencer as the priority of his own administration, he comes towards the rajas guna and then towards the sattva guna. The person who takes towards the rajas guna and tamo guna as the person who influence of giving the tamo guna, rajas guna as the particular person, the person individual of taking the action, who was to take regarding the constitution, the person who is in a position, he He not only makes his own damage of his own self, but he also make the damage of every person who is relating to towards him. This is what the rajas guna do towards the negativity, and the tamo guna takes the influencing of the negative energy towards the rajas guna. The only way of being the sattva guna is nothing but understanding his own self. Understanding his own self and taking regarding the sattva guna with a democratical way or in a spiritual way can make his own self as the positivity towards the environment and the positivity of his own influencing. When the positivity of his own influencing can make the embrace his own self and make the every possibility possible negativity what influencing other, he has the ability of doing the positivity. He has the ability of doing the positivity, even though when the negative has a negative person influence of taking the action towards the negative process, that is tamo guna or rajas guna. The person who is having the sattva guna can make the action of sattva guna and make the process of the sattva guna, and also the positive energy created by the positive energy and the creation of the positive energy with related to the particular and the energy and the particular situation as well. So when this all sattva guna, when the person avoids the sattva guna, when the person avoids the sattva guna as a democratical way, he steps towards the cruelty of the democratical way. When the person avoids the sattva guna as a spiritual way, he goes towards the cruelty of dambhahankara. This is what the rajas guna, tamo guna and the sattva guna describes towards the Bharat. So when person is having the tamo guna, rajas guna towards the Bharat, he never make the positivity toward the Bharat. Having the rajas guna or a tamo guna towards the Bharat is nothing but having harmness of his own motherland. Harming of his own motherland is nothing but avoiding the sattva guna. In this era, when we are talking, when I am explaining towards from the Bharat, I am talking to only with the sattva guna. The person who is having the sattva guna can make only influencing of the sattva guna towards the Bharat, but not the tamo guna and the rajas guna. But the person who is having the tamo guna and the rajas guna take the influencing of the negativity towards the Bharat and make all the such things which is evil for his own self and as the Bharat. So when he is having the sattva, rajas guna and tamo guna towards the Bharat, he will be facing the democratical way. When he is facing the democratical way, then he is influencing the negativity and make all the disaster towards his own self. So this is what the particular rajas guna, tamo guna describes in the Bhagavad Gita. The same sattva guna describes the Bharat as well. Bharat has only the sattva gunis. Bharat has only the guna, which is who will be having the understanding of the environment and understanding of his own self and understanding of the motherland and make the situation which is very sattva guna, sattvic way of describing the Bharat and working towards the Bharat. This is how the sattva guna describes in Bharat. This is how the sattvana rupa sarvasya shraddha bhavati Bharata shraddha mayoya purusho yo yachandra sa evam sa. Purusho ye, the person who is having the sattva guna, he has the purushatva in his own self. Purushatva is not meant for the only of particular physical appearance, but purushatva is the way of having the ojas of his own self. This is how the two of the hymns I have taken as a counting. What is that? The Chetana, Om Chetanaya Nama, Om Chetodbhavaya Nama. This is what the Purushatva is of oneself. This is what the Purushatva towards the Bharat. This is what the Sattva Guna towards the Bharat. This is how the Sattva Guna, Rajas Guna and the Tamo Guna towards the Bharat, and taking this all the Rajas Guna, Tamo Guna as toward the Sattva Guna is the only person who is having the knowledge of Sattva Guna. What is the Sattva Guna and what is the negativity? What is the Sattva Guna and what is the Rajas Guna and what is the Tamo Guna? So this is how what ought to be done, what ought not to be done. This is how the difference of these all things one should understand. The desire of the understanding the Bhagavad Gita is the main ultimate higher thinking of oneself. One should have that. This is how the techie should understand what should do, what should not be done. So having the domination on others, first one should have the domination of his own self. One should have the domination of his own self is nothing but the self-control of his Rajas Guna, Tamo Guna, and make the decision as he determined to the direction what the devotion towards he is having. This is how the Sattva Guna, who is having the practice of tradition, of wearing the kalaiva and tilak and the symbolic tradition of his own way, he has only the way of Sattva Guna and make the positive sense of towards the environment and the towards of his own self. And practice of this, and when we come democratically, avoiding this is the negativity. Avoiding this all thing is the negativity, but having the sense of this can make the positive sense towards the democratical way and towards his own way. So be on a series. I will be giving all the what the thing one should be having and what the things one should be in a execution process, and make the decision what the Sattva Guna and the Bhagavad Gita states towards. This is what the equilibrium in regards the decision of the particular situation. So having the individual, I have taken the individual as Sattva Guna, Rajas Guna, Tamo Guna as his own self. So in coming video, I will be taking all the what I have given the explanation towards the Bhagavad Gitas, and the what importance you should be having. I will be giving that all example with regards yourself, and make you to understand the situation, what is creating and what you should be in a situation. So be on a series. Take all the explanation as a Sattva Guna and make the democratical way of your own self, and make the determined decision towards. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat, Jai Shri Ram.